Yo, what's up? Sorry about the little delay there. This is Dominic D'Angelo, adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. But it's a Monday. I'm here to talk a little bit of pro wrestling with all you fine folks out there. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a really nice weekend. Got to spend some time with some friends at the pool, last day at the pool, and then watch some football. Watch my New York Jets get a well-earned W finally. Oh my gosh. Seriously, I was telling people out my mom and who else? Somebody else. I was telling somebody else it feels like a whole year since they won a game. It really does. I mean, more than a year because of Aaron Rodgers' injury last year. But we're not here to talk about that. Here to talk a little wrestling. We got Greg Jacobson, who does say Happy Jets Victory Monday, Dom, and Robert. Thank you, Greg. Yes, I think Greg, you are a fellow Jets fan, correct? You can clarify that for me. Jake is in the house, too. Good morning, R&I family. How is it Monday again already? I know, it just happened so fast. I think football season extrapolates that even a little bit. It like speeds up the process. But we got some good stuff to talk about today. I'm going to talk about SmackDown, the USA Network premiere that went down, and it was a very fun, exciting show. And then on top of it, we got Raw to preview. So let's hit upon some of them topics, shall we? Yes. So, SmackDown hailed from Seattle, Washington this past Monday, and wow, it kicked off in a big way. First, we had Triple H come, welcome everybody into the season premiere, if you will, of SmackDown. Always cool to see Triple H. I think people certainly familiar, with him being the creative content officer. It kind of cultivates goodwill and makes it feel like a big deal when he shows up and introduces something. And this is a big deal. I mean, USA wants to make this a big thing for them. Obviously, it's their flagship wrestling show, especially after December is done. The Raw will be jumping over to Netflix. So they're embracing it. I mean, intro song, Meg Thee Stallion, big name, new intro, new logo. What do you guys think of the new logo? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I like it. I really like it. I think it's cool and kind of simple, and it's fun. I don't know. Good. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but very good energy on SmackDown this week. So, but yes, Triple H kicks it off, makes it feel like a big deal, and then it also then feels like another big deal because we got a steel cage match for the undisputed WWE Championship happening. We got Cody Rhodes. We got Solo Sikoa. And wow. Lots of speculation that there would be a lot of chicanery going down in this match. There wasn't. Not at all, really, right? See, Jake likes the new logo. Boom. Yes. That's right. Greg is a Jets fan with me. Yes, since longer than me, even. Greg, you're longer than me. Wow, I started in 1998. But, yeah. Anywho, back to the topic at hand. We had quite the, no tomfoolery going down here. After the fact it did, but Cody Rhodes had a definitive win against Solo Sikoa. And then you had Jacob Fatu, you had Tama Tonga Loa show up, try to take out Cody Rhodes. He fought on, but the numbers game came into play, and dang, he almost got taken out until the OTC Roman Reigns showed up and caused some law and order going down, made the save for Cody. So I'm curious, can somebody point out to me what exactly happened to Fatu in the exchange? Like, why was he not in the ring? Why did he not fight Roman at that point? He had to slide back in and challenge Roman after the fact. Did I miss something on there? I did see, obviously, Solo pull him out from under, so to tease, hey, you two aren't getting your hands on each other yet. But I did not know what the heck happened. Like, because I was thinking, okay, he's taking out Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, but is Jacob Fatu just standing in there? Like, what's going on? I didn't see that part. But either way, it sets the evening up for the rest of the day, like for the rest of the show. It does. That moment, and there's a constant tease of what's going down. We're going to hear from Roman Reigns. We're going to, Nick Aldis has some plans. We get more of that later on about a future match. So we'll touch upon that in a second. But The state of the bloodline. Solo loses clean. As clean as you can in a cage match, right? Oh, so he climbed. Oh, thank you, Jake. So he climbed down from the outside. Okay, so Fatu climbed down from the outside of the cage. All right, there we go. Okay, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so Solo losing clean. I just don't know how I feel about that. He doesn't. I mean, granted, he's supposed to be in that position of lesser than the Roman Reigns, kind of like the inadequate aspect to that the leader that brings to there. He doesn't feel like he deserves it, right? And that's kind of the identity they've been portraying for him for this long. Obviously, he's just a chaotic, like loose cannon kind of aspect of it all. But him losing, it just does not benefit the faction itself, I don't think, in that manner. I almost, if you kind of look at it that way, I almost wouldn't have booked the match. I wouldn't have. I would have done something different for Cody. Have him challenge somebody else or somebody else challenge him in a big way. But him losing to Solo or Solo losing to him in that manner, I don't know if it necessarily helps that faction anymore. It doesn't, because next up, they're probably going against Roman Reigns, right? After this is all said and done, when they do this tag match forthcoming, which we'll talk about. But him not coming off a win or feeling strong, he didn't rebound because he lost to Cody at SummerSlam. And now he lost to Cody again. Okay, he should be done. Cody should be finished with them all. And, that doesn't really heat him up for Roman. You would think Roman's going to easily beat Solo Sikoa. He handles Tama Tonga and Tongaloa pretty darn well by himself. So what makes you think that he's going to take out... What makes you think Solo's going to be a handful for him? Besides the numbers game. The big fight here is him versus Fatu. That's the big fight. But... I mean, Solo, I don't think it really does him any favors. And the Bloodline faction as a whole, they just seem like kind of in the realm of the Judgment Day where they're just like fodder. It's just like, you don't want them to feel like fodder. And 3 of those guys feel like fodder right now. Jacob Fatu's the only viable commodity in the Bloodline right now, in the new Bloodline. So, did enjoy the match. It's fun. It felt like a big deal, but I'm just like, wow, I can't believe they just made Solo lose like that. I understand it's a cage match and it's basically that defines a blow-off match, but Solo got a little blew off on that, a little too much blew off on that. Is that a faction in the NWA, or is that a talent in the NWA, Devin? I don't get the joke, but I'm sure that's what it is. Let's see what Wrestling Old Head says. They definitely went the traditional heel route with Solo Sikoa, but they failed to give him any wins in the process to the big matches. Yes, I agree, Wrestling Old Head. I do. I think it should have been Cody and Roman versus the Tongan twins for the tag titles, like HBK and Austin back then. That would have been interesting. You could have finagled a way to that, and that would have still felt like a big deal, right? If you were to kind of do that, and even you could have the Guerrillas of Destiny get the win over Cody and Roman, I think, and then they feel like a bigger deal. Like, you can have trouble, and then Solo causes trouble between those two. Obviously, you spoil the surprise of Roman getting back, or maybe you're meaning this at Bad Blood, but yeah, I think that would make more sense, and then you feel like the faction gets heated up again. Yeah, good point. Solo is going to have to pin Roman or Cody at Bad Blood. Yes, I really feel that way. And even now, it just doesn't feel like, and it'll be under, nefarious terms, so it won't feel like that big of a deal. Like, I don't think they set up this in the proper fashion for Roman and him to feud with the Bloodline. Like, you could have really, you could have got away. It would have felt like a bigger deal if they didn't have this second match, Cody and Solo, because, there was so much mess and tomfoolery that went down at SummerSlam. You could be like, okay, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened in that match that stopped. But, man, Cody took everybody out in that match, took, Solo down. It was just definitive. So I don't know. Fun match. Don't know if it's the best way to portray the new bloodline how you want. So yeah. I still thought it was a fun opener and kind of a good way to make it feel like, hey, it's a big deal. You got a SmackDown steel cage match happening, and so that did feel like a bigger deal. All right. So then we get, Nick Aldis interviewed backstage and kind of teased, hey, there's more to come. Basically, I want to talk to both these guys. And Solo Sikoa had reached out with an offer of a tag match featuring him and Jacob Fatu. So, and as Roman and everybody's being sequestered in their dressing rooms. So, then we had Mia Yim taking on Piper Niven. Mia wins definitively there by a soul food. I like Mia Yim. I like Mishin. I like Piper Niven a lot. I do think WWE also needs to kind of factor in, hey, we got to be cognizant of our women's division and our heel women's division. So, like, I always think you should really heat up somebody like Piper Niven. But she was, again, fodder for Mishin here, and it led to Green attacking Mia Yim after the fact. And, so she gets dumped on a trash can, which teases something for a dumpster match later on. That gets talked about off air. And they don't. Yeah, it's a social media thing. So later on, there's a dumpster match going on down at some point. They didn't confirm a date. Maybe next week here, we'll get a dumpster match between Chelsea Green and Mishin. But hey, so back from commercial break, we get to see some legends in the crowd. Mr. Rob Van Dam, who I am quite familiar with. He was sitting there with Katie Forbes, the lovely Katie Forbes, and they were there in attendance. So was Imperium. So was Vicky Guerrero. They were all in attendance for this surprise match with Kevin Owens as he reveals his mystery tag team partner, who I thought, and even on Friday's show, I predicted it would be Rob Van Dam would be his tag team partner because Kevin loves RVD. He said that in a previous interview and stuff like that. And then, it just makes, I was like, okay, so I think the red herring here will be Randy Orton. Everybody's thinking it's Randy Orton coming back. And so it's got to be RVD. Here, the red herring is Ricky Gibson from Seattle, who's part of the Midnight Heat tag team, which is a great tag team name. Midnight Heat, awesome name. But he comes out, looks good, but he's the butt of the joke here. And then, Kevin Owens like, yeah, we'll work together and go here. Where we go. And sure enough, he gets a notification from, I believe it's Alicia Taylor, the ringside announcer. She said that, hey, no, he's here. And sure enough, out comes Randy Orton. And Randy Orton makes a face. You can see off camera. He makes a face off camera to RVD and gets in the ring and has the match. And so fun stuff, the Orton and KO get the definitive win. No heel turn for Orton. Although Kevin Owens did stun Ricky Gibson. But fun little segment there. Always nice to see RVD. We actually talk about his experience at SmackDown on the latest episode, which will drop today at Monday at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, I feel horrible. I forgot to plug the show again this week on the show on Art One of a Kind. I need to do it for Robert. I even indirectly referenced the show. I was like, yeah, I was talking to a friend on another show. Did not plug the show. I feel like such an idiot. Oh my God. I was just oblivious. I seriously am. Like, you put me in a vacuum. You look at me. I'm just, this guy's a nincompoop. I am. I'm a nincompoop, guys. But yes, so fun little segment there. Liked that as well. What else we got on the SmackDown card coming up here? I'm transitioning between windows here, so. Oh yeah, so Nick Aldis wants Cody to sign this contract. It's Roman Reigns tagging with Cody, no, that's it. So Nick Aldis reveals that he's holding a contract that has Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa going to fight Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in a tag match. He's got the bloodline already signed. They're ready to go. There's a knock on the door, and it's Cody. And he just says, no, I'm done with the bloodline. This is Roman's problem now. And even after the match, when Cody beat Solo, he was like, we're done. He made that very visible to say that. Back from commercial break, we see Booker T, Queen Charmel, Sheamus, and Michael P.S. Hayes in the front row. Neat to see all those guys. Booker and Queen Charmel. It's always cool to see. I like Booker a lot. I do like Booker. Sheamus fitting right in, partying down with the fans. That was cool to see. And Michael P.S.A.'s got a pretty decent pop, too, so that was nice. This segment, Nia Jax gets the mic and says how dominant she's been and waiting for some more contenders because nobody can stack up to her. Nick Aldis let her know that she will be defending her title at Bad Blood, but doesn't know who or care who the opponent is. Because they'll meet the same fate as Mishin, Naomi, Bayley, Annihilation. Enter Bayley. Bayley comes in, says she's feeling confident, and she wants the rematch. And then you get Tiffany Stratton coming out. And then you get Naomi coming out. And they bicker. And this segment did not click for me whatsoever. Just didn't. It felt really, really flat. Bayley's got kind of had her hair in a ponytail akin to her hugging days, but they really, really need to kind of readjust Bayley and get her in a better babyface position, because what's working right now, it's just kind of boilerplate babyface stuff, and that's not Bayley. Bayley, has a personality that's cool and fun and unique, and I want to see them, and particularly Bayley too, just kind of embrace that more. Get back, pun intended, embrace that more. Get more of the hugging dynamic back. Fans really like that. Get the energy back. Find a way to balance that between the classic Bayley that we I don't want to say grew up watching, but that we saw grow initially in WWE and in NXT in particular, and then find it where you can have a meeting of the minds of having her modern personality there too. But this is just not working. And this just felt very, very flat and kind of phoned in. Let me see what else is getting said. Let's see. What does Juju Roy say? Hey, to be fair, Robert doesn't listen to your other shows, so just kayfabe him. Don't out yourself. It's too late. I already did. I'm an honest person. I will plug it though. Next week I will plug it. I really do gotta make a note to do that. So, but yeah, this women's segment was not good. Just not good. Tiffany does have a personality. So does Nia Jax too. They all do, but this isn't lining up. It doesn't work for me. It just feels like treading water here with this women's division on SmackDown. It's they definitely need something recharged up, whether that's giving somebody a bigger push or somebody new doing a call up of some sort. They just need something. Like I said, Bayley, they need to give her, reposition her better as a babyface. Back from break, we see Ron Simmons, Teddy Long, William Regal, Bobby Roode, and Damian Priest in the front row. So pretty neat. More legends in the crowd, more alumni, more modern talent in the crowd. Makes it feel like a big deal. So we have Andrade taking on Carmelo Hayes in a fun match. A lot of people, probably Robert, I know, expected Carmelo Hayes to win this match, but it was Andrade getting the win and challenging. We'll be challenging LA Knight for that United States Championship. So I like Andrade a lot. I think something that's understated about him, obviously he's a talent in the ring. His only shortcoming is the language barrier and getting his personality across. However, I did make note of this. After he won the match, his facial expressions, his body language is really, really good. It's really good. And I think there's something that you can tap into there with him. And whether you get some sort of mouthpiece for him that fans can also live vicariously through, get like a legend of some sort, somebody fun you can do. Heck, what about Chavo Guerrero? What about somebody like him? What about somebody that can get those ties back. And you have a cool thing, I think, going on with Andrade. But what he's able to do with just his facial expressions and his body language and his talent in the ring, there's definitely some I see still a lot of promise in Andrade and what he's capable of. So Wrestling Old Head says put Teddy Long with Carmelo Hayes. Holla holla holla. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. But no, I think Carmelo Hayes is a-okay. I like him. I like him as a heel. I like what they can potentially do with him. I think they will eventually pivot maybe from Andrade over to Carmelo Hayes to challenge LA Knight. Now LA Knight comes out and cuts a promo. Again, I want to see more from LA Knight than what he's given. He's definitely playing the hits, but his hits are hits we've seen from Attitude Era Rock and Attitude Era Stone Cold. So it's just like he puts his own spin on it, that's for sure. He's got a great look, but like this is his opportunity to take the ball and run with it. And just kind of seems like par of the course with what he was conveying on the microphone. It's just like, okay, now we're getting Andrade and LA Knight and LA Knight said stuff, and here we go. So Jeroy, I could see him either way. I like it. I think there's potential of him as a face, but he's definitely conveyed that he's been able to show a heel. He was great with Zelina Vega. I think that was a great pairing with those two, and they really worked well off of one another. So something like that would work. I do just think there's potential for him to be a good baby face as well. But I mean, is there more mileage in him as a heel? Somebody to maybe challenge a Cody Rhodes down the line, or go up against a Roman Reigns even at some point or juncture. That's something to definitely consider. I agree, but I do think Andrade's capable of that. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Thank you, old head. I agree. Chavo would be the perfect pair with Andrade. Make it happen, WWE. Have it fun. You get the ties to Eddie, and that's always nice. And Chavo is a good dude and obviously does good work in the movie business. All right, we'll carry on here. We had Roman Reigns coming back. And, man, big deal. Soaks it in. Aldis begins on the mic, and he does his shtick with the microphone. So he knows how to handle a crowd, man. Roman is great at this stuff. He says things have changed, but not him. He doesn't need Nick or some contract. This is family business, and he doesn't need a partner. He definitely doesn't need Cody's help. He wants to get it on one thing straight, whether he has the Garland or not. He is the tribal chief. As a matter of fact, he's not just the original tribal chief. He's the only tribal chief, and this is his ring. This is his show. This is his WWE. Well, who takes exception to that but Cody Rhodes, who says he gets on the mic and questions Roman's statement that this is his ring and his WWE. He says it was, but it hasn't been his since WrestleMania. They throw their microphones aside and they square up on one another. Hey, here comes Solo Sikoa and Samoan Werewolf Jay Fatu. They stop on the ramp. The Gorillas of Destiny attack Roman and Cody from behind. Cody gets the better of Tongaloa with Cody Cutter and Freeze Reigns to hit a rock bottom on Tama Tonga. You know what? So again, this is fodder. More fodder here. This is bloodline fodder. It's the bloodline doesn't really do them a whole lot of favors, I think, here. It's all, I mean, I understand they're positioning Jacob Fatu in a big way here, but nobody in the faction is looking good other than him right now. And so they get taken out real easily, and then we happen. The two save one another. Roman picks up the contract, looks at it, signs it immediately. He's ready to go for Bad Blood. And then Cody does the microphone thing, and boom, it's on, baby. So we do have that tag match. It's going to be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns going up against Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. The execution of this should be really to position the bloodline to look strong. I don't know if they can recover from this. They already kind of look weak, to be honest. And so, okay. So Fodder is married to Angelina Love and is in the NWA. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dan. Um, so yeah, good kickoff show to SmackDown. Not sure what the ratings are, if they got announced yet. I don't think they did, right? Usually that happens in the afternoon. But it was a good show. A lot of players in the equation here. But you know what? There's a lot of players that happen to play in the NFL. And it's going to be really confusing to keep track of. Well, DraftKings has a new app to kind of keep that simple and make betting fun for you. When it comes to the DraftKings Pick 6 app, you just download that Pick 6 app on your phone and you can pick your set of players. Will they go over their yardage? Will they go under their yardage? What do you think will weigh out here? We got Philadelphia and the Atlanta Falcons playing tonight on Monday Night Football. You could say, hey, I think Jalen Hurts is going to have this amount of rushing yards, or he'll be under it. You can also do the same with somebody like Kirk Cousins. How many passing yards will he have? Will he go over? Will he go under? Hey, will Bijan Robinson have another game of his career where he runs all over Philadelphia? Tough defense to do, but hey, it could maybe happen. You pick your 6, and then you just download that DraftKings app. Use promo code RUMOR. You get $50 back when you make a $5 bet, and you have a good time. It's a fun app. I've checked it out, and I've laid some predictions on there too. So give it a try. Download some DraftKings. The crown is yours, guys. It's yours. So let's preview a little bit of Monday Night Raw. The big angle here. CM Punk goes to hell. He goes to hell, guys. And that is what happens. Yeah, he returns to Raw. He'll give his thoughts on the third and final barbaric stipulation. So it'll be fun to see how Punk handles all this stuff, because we're getting right into the thick of what we've wanted to see with this feud for months and months. And so this is starting to be the payoff here. And, you know, you want to see both these guys be at the top of their game on the microphone. Punk has been taken out. He's been bloodied. He's got a lot of incentives. His bracelet has been destroyed. There's so much that Punk can really lay into with McIntyre. And so it'll be really neat to see what Punk is capable of doing tonight on here. Yeah, I'm sure Andrew, who is a fantastic research man for the Arn Anderson Show and is the co-host of Paving the Way with Medusa. So you can check that out on OneTrueSportTV.com. But he says they need to use a real Hell in a Cell cage, not that red absurdity. Yeah, I agree. I would very much like to see the old Hell in a Cell cage go back. How would you, though, feel if they put a spin with the blue bars as a Hell in a Cell? The classic blue bars. Could you do that in a Hell in a Cell? Would that look good in a Hell in a Cell format? I don't know. I'm a big proponent of the blue bars. I think they should really bring that back for steel cages. Maybe just for the steel cages. Come on. Let's do it. SmackDown blue brand. That's what they should have done, right? That's what they should have done. But, yeah, so Punk, big night for him, big night for Drew. The Bloodline saga will continue here. Or not the Bloodline, jeez. The Judgment Day saga will continue. Back from SummerSlam in August. Dominic and Finn Balor turned on Rhea Ripley. And tonight, Dominic and Priest faced off in a singles match. Would you give Dominic the win here? I think I would. I think I really would. Damian Priest's pretty Teflon right now. Obviously, you don't want a clean win. You want a tainted victory by Dominic. But I think that just adds all the more to it. I really like Damian Priest as a babyface. He's a good alternative to somebody like a Cody Rhodes or even like a CM Punk in certain ways. Punk has his own persona, and Damian Priest has this kind of cool, laid back, but really can get behind persona. He's a good friendship babyface, if that makes sense. Like, you look at what he did for Rhea Ripley last week, protecting her and all that stuff. That's awesome. That's cool stuff that you want to see. Really, somebody can latch on to, I think, as a good, cool babyface. Hey, plus he does the Razor's Edge, and I'm all for that. The World Tag Team titles are up for grabs as well. Finn Balor are scheduled to defend their WWE World Tag Team Championship against the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This is their first televised tag defense since winning the titles in June. Wow, that's unbelievable. What would you do with New Day here? Would you reheat them up as a top babyface tag team, or would you still split them up? I'm intrigued by this tonight. I am very much for the New Day splitting up. I like both those guys. I just think there's a lot more that you can do now, finally with the breakup, especially after 10 years, and this is like their 10-year anniversary on top of it. Give it something like, boom, make it hit big. I mean, you could make them feel like a big deal when they win the World Tag Team Championships. If you would decide to do that tonight, I would go against that. I would have them lose. Maybe have a definitive. This is what I would do, guys. I would definitely have them definitively lose clean against Judgment Day. You want to make Judgment Day feel like a viable tag team. You want to make this faction feel viable because they are in the same realm of the bloodline right now. They kind of feel like fodder. So I would have them have this definitive win. That prompts Creed to turn on Kofi. Kofi, his priority hasn't been lined up. They had that other guy. What was his name? Huh? He's on his own odyssey now. But no longer there. I think you can still cultivate that little minor tension they have going on. So, yeah. Have Creed. That's funny, yeah. It's hard to... He's Consequences Creed, right? It's Xavier Woods. Say I do the same thing. But yes, so we have that. We have Natalya taking on Zoe Stark. We have Pete Dunne versus Sheamus. We have Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed, a big hoss fight going down. So should be a fun show. We'll be sure to talk about that more on tomorrow's episode. I will try to get a guest co-host in. Robert is out for the week. He is on assignment doing his lawyer man stuff. So you will be stuck with me and with another guest host this week. I have some fun names in mind that I would like to get in and tag on with me this week. So, but yes, as far as everything else, like I said, One of a Kind with RVD drops today at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, Rob goes into detail about his experience being backstage at SmackDown, being ringside for that match, who he interacted with, talks about working with Triple H, or interacting with Triple H, talks about Cody Rhodes, hanging with Cody Rhodes. That's at the end of the show. He has a completely out of left field. Oh, he gives his thoughts on the plastic bag with Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. He also talks about, hey, how to breathe properly, all that stuff. And then there's another fun thing he talks about too. What is it? Just the dynamic of the new WWE. He gives a cool, his thoughts on that. Is really impressed with the product currently. So tune into that, 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give us 5 stars on all the podcast stuff too, by the way, with that. And check out my other shows, Straight Talk Boss, Magnum TA, Greg Gagne. We talked... we have a good time, always a good time talking to Magnum and Greg, and they also give awesome perspective on a lot of different things. So there you go. Fonzie, I think me and Fonzie are going to do a show this week. Maybe we'll do it next week. I will chat with Fonzie, and you keep tuned in. OneTrueSportTV.com, but be sure to hit up all these ad-free shows. Stuff on ad-free shows. New 83 Weeks, I think, is happening and all that stuff. So there's a lot of good stuff on tap there. As far as Robert, be sure to check out Workin' Stiff. New episode dropped this past week. Scott and Robert go into detail about their thoughts on AEW and all that stuff. So really fun show there. And you got to be looking on for the Patreon episode too. That'll be forthcoming as well. So with that said, I want to wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. And hey, I'm trying to think of something clever to say. I can't. I'm just an nincompoop. See you guys tomorrow on Rumor and Innuendo. Yeah.